Commander-in-Chief shakes up the military hierarchy with new service chiefs and national security advisor.
As the economy is today, we must realize that government needs also to put some funds on other person needs. So we are encouraging self-sponsorship.
President Buhari lends support for self-funding of religious pilgrimages. Chief Justice Mahmoud Mohammed advises judicial officers to take to their heels from corruption. Plus, federal government committees on reviving agricultural services constituted. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stover. President Muhammadu Buhari this Monday effected a decisive shake-up in the nation's defense and security apparatus with his approval of the appointment of military service chiefs and the national security advisor. To ensure a smooth takeover and responsiveness to operational callings, the President quickly met with the newly appointed National Security Advisor and the service chiefs. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports.
The new service chiefs who came to the State House shortly after their appointments were announced went straight to the presidential conference room. President Muhammadu Buhari joined them almost immediately and met behind closed doors for less than 10 minutes. Details of the meeting were not made public. Those present include the new National Security Advisor, retired Major General Babagana Monguno, the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Abayoni Gabriel Olonishakin, Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Ibok Eko Ibas, Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, and the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Air Vice Marshal Morgan Mandariku. The new Chief of Army Staff, Major General T.Y. Burutai, who until his new appointment, the Commander, Multinational Joint Task Force based in Jamila, Chad, was unavoidably absent. Efforts by newsmen to hear from the new appointees failed. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Well, right now we're linking up with a security expert who is in our Lagos studio, Dr. Ona Ekomu, to discuss the implications and expectations of the new appointees. Dr. Ekomu is a security expert with many years of experience in private security services. Dr. Ekomu, thanks for joining us on NTA Network News.
Thank you, Mr. Sir.
On the new appointment into the nation's high military command. Dr. Ekomu, I believe you can hear me. Dr. Ekomu? Yes, I was asking, I said, what's your take on the recent appointment to the nation's high military command? Well, I believe that we're having some challenges linking up there with Dr. Ekomu in our Lagos studio. We'll try to fix those lines and we'll probably return to Dr. Ekomu just as soon as we tidy up those links. Moving on now, the federal government says it will implement far-reaching reforms towards guaranteeing transparency and accountability in the nation's oil and gas industry. President Muhammadu Buhari said this while receiving senior officials of Chevron, led by the company's President for Africa and Latin America, Ali Mushiri. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari explained that he fully understands the situation in the industry and will do his best to address the challenges affecting exploration, production, and distribution of oil products in the country. Acknowledging the merits of the amnesty program initiated by President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua to reduce violence in the Niger Delta region, President Buhari said his administration will build on the good aspects of the program. The President added that his administration will also implement other measures to enhance security in the Niger Delta and optimize investments in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. Mr. Mushiri had asked President Buhari to restore the confidence of international investors in the industry. He identified improved security in the Niger Delta as key to increased investment in the nation's oil and gas sector.
Nigeria doesn't need to worry about gas. There's so much gas. Even the
President, most of this I think is done through the local content. Right now we're getting 7.5 which is 80% of it is local content. Mr. Moshiri said that Chevron, which has 36.7% interest in the West African Gas Pipeline Company Limited, is keen to support Nigeria's gas sector and bring more electricity to Nigerian consumers. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has advised the federal government to immediately commence the process of ensuring that all petroleum products are refined in the country. Speaking with the leadership of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, he described the importation of petroleum products as unacceptable. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Mko reports.
Nigeria, being one of the largest producers of oil in the world and the largest in Africa, one would have expected the country to advance in the technology of oil production. Ironically, the country which discovered oil in the 1950s has remained a major customer to refineries abroad. A development economic analyst described as huge economic waste. Speaker Dogara, addressing leadership of IPMAN, highlights the need for the revitalization of Nigeria's local refineries. He noted that the passage of the petroleum industry bill is at the heart of the 8th House of Representatives. He implored them to always adopt dialogue instead of strikes as the best way of conflict resolution. The national president of IPMAN, Chinedu Okoronko, says as part of measures to ensure that Nigeria refines its petroleum products in the country, the association has attracted 2 refineries from the Republic of Peru to be situated in Bayelsa and Kogi states.
When it is refined locally, it will give massive employment to our teeming youth.
The visit is to raise issues on the factors militating against the development of the oil sector in Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Mko, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will address the United Nations Conference on Financing for Development in Africa in Addis Ababa tomorrow, Tuesday. World leaders have commenced discussion on how to raise money to end poverty in Africa at the 4-day conference. The Vice President is expected to depart Nigeria on Tuesday morning for the Ethiopian capital to attend the conference, which is the 3rd in the series. President Muhammadu Buhari has given the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission the go-ahead in its drive for self-sustenance aimed at ensuring that pilgrims are able to pay for their pilgrimage. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, John Kennedy Okpara, who disclosed this to newsmen after meeting with the President, said the initiative is meant to gradually remove the government from the sponsorship of the journey of faith to the Holy Land.
As the economy is today, we must realize that government need also to put some funds on so many other person needs. So we are encouraging self-sponsorship, and we are encouraging the way to do people who can fund those who are spiritually weak but materially poor to assist, and then individuals can partake in the scheme being run by the Nigerian Champion Commission and the Lottery Regulatory Commission. In that way, they can also find themselves to Israel with little money, but it must cost every pilgrim something to go to Israel.
Mr. Kennedy Okpara, who commended President Buhari for approving an exchange rate of 160 naira to $1 for this year's pilgrimage, said plans are being finalized for the youth pilgrimage beginning on the 25th of this month.
79,840 naira, and for the youth pilgrimage it's going to cost 257,000 naira for those that are going for the youth pilgrimage. The beauty of what we are doing that we have added skill acquisition. In other words, people from pilgrimage can now undergo the skill acquisition program organized by the Nigerian Champion Commission and the Ministry of Agriculture, Israel, to strengthen our people to train the area of agriculture.
State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports that apart from the youth pilgrimage, the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission also runs 3 other pilgrimages, including the Easter, family and main pilgrimages between October and December. And the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has secured accommodation for the 10,000 Nigerian pilgrims expected to perform the 2015 Hajj under the auspices of tour operators. Chairman of the Commission led the team on the exercise. Adamu Abdullahi reports from Makkah.
The meeting attended by President Association of Hajj Tour Operators of Nigeria and some of their members, the National Hajj Commission and the chairman of the establishment of non-Arab pilgrims service providers, and their board allowed the demand declared the poor services given the pilgrims during the last Hajj and asked the newly reconstituted board to improve on the quality of services to be given to the pilgrims this year. Chairman of the establishment of non-African Arab pilgrims assured the Nigerian delegation of a new chapter in service provision to Allah's guests. On the issue of charges to be paid on each pilgrim for accommodation at the Mashayikh, both sides have agreed to make some sacrifices with the promise for better services either in 2015 Hajj and beyond. The team also called for promptness in the provision of meals for pilgrims during the stay at Mina and Arafat, as well as an improved transport system. In Makkah, Adamu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And checking on our top story tonight, President Buhari today announced new service chiefs and the National Security Advisor. Earlier in the day, we linked up with our Lagos Network Center, where we have a security expert, Dr. Ola Ekhomu, who joins us from our Lagos studio. Now we can say we have re-established links with Dr. Ola in our Lagos studio. Dr. Ola, you can hear me now, can you?
Loud and clear.
So, what's your take on this appointment of top hierarchy of the nation's military?
Well, the president has fully taken charge now. He has put together and has announced his national security team, and the hope now is to reinvigorate the fight, certainly against the Boko Haram, which is the top priority, military security priority in this country today, and taking fight to them and bringing it to a close, because the president obviously is very interested in safeguarding Nigerian lives and preventing the kinds of attacks we've seen occur in the last few days, since the administration took over. Now, just to put it in figures, 600 plus lives in 30-some days is just too much to bear. So I think the president wants to give a shot in the arm to the security program, such that we can start, putting the Boko Haram insurgency to rest.
What are the likely challenges that they will be facing as they step into office?
Yes, thanks. So the challenges are manifold. They have a military that has been under stress for a while. They are taking over, in a time of crisis, and they are taking over in a time that we are seeing too many security leaks by way of security breaches, like the recent Jos attacks, Zaria attacks, and Kano attacks. And so they are taking over in a time of crisis, but it is obvious that this will be a well-tested team that the president has assembled, and they would be able to rise up to the challenge. Now, I'd like to say, by way of agenda setting quickly, Cyril, that there must be specific things that this team must look at. First of all, the issue of bringing an end to the reign of terror. That is, job one. We must bring an end to the reign of terror. Now, most importantly, safeguarding Nigerian lives. We have to put it back there that every Nigerian life is very valuable, and the security team must do all their utmost best to ensure that Nigerians are safeguarded wherever they are in this country, whether they are in the northeast, southwest, or wherever. And now, thirdly, the issue of a national IED prevention initiative. Now, we have all agreed that Boko Haram has adopted guerrilla tactics now to kill Nigerians. Well, sure, I mean, that's their new playbook, but now we must adapt to that. We must, in fact, go ahead of them, be proactive, such that we need, and I'm happy that there's a new NSA in place. They must invent and put in place a new IED prevention initiative, a national IED prevention initiative, such that Nigerians can be trained in how to observe, things that do not belong, such as left objects, suspicious objects, and then who to call when you see something that doesn't belong and could potentially be harmful to you and your fellow citizens. And now, fourthly, is the issue of the Chibok girls. Now, whether they are alive, we are not sure, but the president has emphasized that they will be found. And then perhaps we should give proper closure to this matter now. We must get some proper evidence of what happened to them and account for them so that their families can come to closure and Nigeria can come to closure. So I think if we focus these priorities, we will be able to do something good in terms of the security program.
They do have their work cut out for them, don't they? Thank you very much, Dr. Akumu. Thank you very much, Dr. Dr. Akumu and the other Nigerians here see these appointments as a breath of fresh hope of curtailing security challenges in the nation's landscape. We have our defense correspondent, Muhammad Abdul Kadri, taking a look at the profiles of the new appointees.
Was before retirement Commander, Gas Brigade and Deputy Commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy. He was once Chief of Defense Intelligence, Chief of Defense Logistics, and Commander, Training and Doctrine Command. The new Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Bayomi Gabriel Olonishaki, hails from Ekiti State, and until his appointment was Commandant, Nigerian Army Training and Doctrine Command in Minna. Also the immediate past commander of the multinational joint task force, which has its headquarters in Jamina, Major General Tuku Yusuf Buratai, steps in as the new Chief of Army Staff. It is on record that the Borno State-born two-star general held command appointments including Commander, Nigerian Army 2nd Brigade, Port Harcourt, and Commander, Nigerian Army School of Infantry, Jaji. Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Ibokete Ekwe Ibas, hails from Cross River State. His previous appointments include Flag Officer, Commanding Western Naval Command, Chief of Logistics, Naval Headquarters, and until his appointment, he was Chief Executive Officer, Naval Holdings. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Abubakar Sadiq, who hails from Bauchi State, was Chief of Standards and Evaluation, Nigerian Air Force Headquarters. The Chief of Defense Intelligence is occupied by the former Air Officer Commanding NAF Logistics Command, Air Vice Marshal Monday Morgan, who hails from Benue State. In Abuja, Muhammad Abdul Kadir, NTA News.
And moving on to the judiciary now, guests of NTA's program Good Morning Nigeria have called for streamlining of the criminal justice system to incorporate plea bargain to enhance quick dispensation of justice. Amina Mujain has details.
The concept of plea bargaining was introduced in 2005 by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for the prosecution of corrupt cases. However, the concept came under criticism by some stakeholders in view of its mode of application, which is perceived to favor influential members of society. Some guests on Monday's edition of Good Morning Nigeria welcomed the development, even though it is not expressly provided in the nation's criminal jurisprudence.
There are three parts. There are plea bargain as it relates to charges, plea bargain as it relates to sentence, and plea bargain as can be regulated by the court.
The Attorney General is allowed to accept a plea bargain if it is in the interest of public, if it is in public interest, justice, and it will not amount to abuse of legal process.
I think there should be an overhaul of our criminal justice system, and I think that there is discrepancy and discordance with the law dealing with the poor and the law dealing with the rich.
The whole concept of justice is about treating like cases alike. When you begin to differentiate between different categories of defendants or accused persons, you are mocking this concept of treating like cases alike, which is the fundamental basis of the bar against discrimination.
There was the argument by guests that proper administration of justice is being sacrificed on the altar of saving time and cost in the prosecution of cases. Guests emphasized the need for review of appropriate legislation to empower states to prosecute corruption cases to facilitate quick dispensation of justice. In Abuja, Amina Hussain, NTA News.
Staying with the judiciary, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, has urged judicial officers to shun all acts of impropriety. He's speaking at the evening ceremony of the 2015 National Workshop for Judiciary Staff in Abuja. Ali Tukur has the details.
Organized by the National Judicial Institute for Secretaries, Registrars, Process Clerks and Bailiffs, the workshop is to sensitize the officers about the consequences of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, who declared the workshop open.
So we can continue with our report due to its poor quality. Indeed, the socio-cultural group discussed their needs with all Progressives Congress leaders. The details shortly.
Guys, where are you now? You must about to start. So Shane, I'm going to leave the trail. Not to worry. I want to comment for you to the entire game. Stop! Go on! Who is supposed to be a man? I'm an acre smart talk. Long opinion. I just learned to the second. Wow! Now that's smart! Now the math on April Smart Talk, you can talk for as long as you want with everyone in Nigeria at the same flat rate at 11th of a second. It's a minute to go. Airtel Smart Talk. Dial star 315 hash to activate. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Everything seems okay, but he's always fighting at night, and he's so irritable. Look, his diaper's wet. Wait, it never leaks. Maybe outside, but look, he's still wet inside, which could wake him. So what should I do? Try new Pampers Baby Dry. They have this super gel inside, so Juma stays dry, sleeps well, and wakes up happy.
Nothing feels better than having stuff ready to leave with the MTN Super Saver Plus.
This special plan gets me. It treats me like royalty.
And roaming, this plan allows you to receive calls and SMS for free in more countries.
When they ask me why I love MTN Super Saver Plus, I just say it's too sweet to me.
MTN Super Saver Plus, because success has its privileges.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Everything you have achieved for your family, for yourself, or for your business. You rely on Mansfield Insurance, a leading insurance company, because it always understood your needs. And now, Mansfield is joining forces with AXA, the world's #1 insurance brand, in order to protect all that makes your life better. Take that step with AXA Mantra. AXA Mantra, redefining standards.
You don't have
Ramadan seasonal offer for 308 SW and 308 HP lasts for 1 month, 30 days.
is an offer you don't want to miss. Wishing you a happy Ramadan. ASE Motors, a variety of crafts.
Want your bathroom to dazzle? Give your toilet the hypo treatment to brighten and also kill germs, so your bathroom stays disinfected and squeaky clean.
Wealth lies in our people who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. As a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Some of you have asked if it's alright to use hand wash detergent in your washing machine. The answer is no. Our washing machines are designed to give you the best possible clean. That's why we recommend new Ariel automatic detergent. It's specially formulated for your machine and contains up to 2 times more stain-fighting ingredients than normal hand wash detergent to give you brilliant stain removal in one wash. New Ariel automatic, #1 brand recommended by LG Nigeria.
Ohaneze Igbo, a social-cultural group aimed at championing the welfare of Igbo, has called for a more unifying factor for the well-being of the Igbo. They made the call during a visit to the national leader of the All Progressives Congress in Abuja, Assumpta Oebule, as the details.
The 2015 World Igbo Conference is the focal point of the meeting. The delegates led by the National Publicity Secretary, Benedict Oramisi, said Igbos should take advantage of their enterprising potentials to consolidate the economical and political drive within and outside the country in the next dispensation.
We are here to inform you about this conference. Igbos must be ready to from 2019 to 2023. We must show something as a race. As we
Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, while commending the Ohaneze group on their relentless effort in bringing Igbos together and their adaptation in any part of the world, said it is important for Igbos to meet and take stock on issues that affect them, as well as foster unity amongst them.
We are very tired of the way things have been, and we want a new nation that our children will be proud to be Nigerians, and the rest of the world will respect us as a nation.
He added that the new leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari is committed to see a nation in the area of security for a better Nigeria. Abuja.
So about the 4 questions in that report. The federal government has set up 4 committees to review previous agricultural policies and develop strategy for resuscitating the cotton and textile industry, agricultural extension services, and for developing grazing reserves. The committees were constituted as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. Musa Baba Ali has the details.
In spite of the fact that Nigeria depends largely on the oil sector for budgetary revenues, agriculture continues to play a significant role, with about 70% of the population engaged in agricultural production. However, insecurity, climate change, storage, marketing and prices have remained a challenge. These factors are also said to be responsible for the decline in cash crop production, such as cutting and clashes between farmers and pastoralists over farmland. It is against this backdrop that President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Federal Ministry of Agriculture to come up with a policy and strategy to further boost national food production and revive textile industry.
The President directed that we
take a holistic approach to ensure that we resuscitate the textile industry, which starts from the production of cotton and the quality of cotton we are producing, to develop short, medium, and long-term strategic recommendations that will end the persistent farmers and pastoralist conflicts in this country.
Members of the committees are drawn from both public and private sector and are expected to submit their report in 2 weeks. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The 8 suspects have been apprehended by the Gombe State Command of the Niger Security and Civil Defense Corps in connection with the sale of adulterated fertilizer. Talatu Lamon reports.
The 8 suspects were arrested in the process of manufacturing the adulterated fertilizers along a new commercial area behind PZ. Owner of the factory, Adamu Muhammad, revealed that he has been in the business for 2 years in order to earn a living, while 7 others were assisting him in the manufacturing and distribution chain. The suspect said they sell a bag of adulterated fertilizer for 3,800 naira. When the Gombe State Commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Shem Obafemi Sunday, in company of the men of the Corps, visited the warehouse, large number of adulterated bags of fertilizer were seen. The State Commandant said the suspect will soon be charged to court for further investigations.
Immediately we fired them, I sent a memo to SOM, External Organization of Nigeria. And to our dismay, immediately my PRO took the letter there. The leader there gathered all his men that this is the place people have been looking for to locate for the past 3 years. And took the place have located under 1 hour. Yeah, that's to tell you that it's not today they've been on the business.
The warehouse was sealed. In Gombe, I am Talatu Lamon, NTA News.
The theme of this year's World Population Day, Vulnerable Population in Emergency, is instructive with increasing number of internally displaced persons camps across the country. This prompted the chairman of the National Population Commission, Ezedulu Inoma, to visit the Kuchigoro camp in Abuja, where he sought more support from government and corporate bodies for their plight. Islamic has details.
The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, in a message to mark the 2015 World Population Day, says about 60 million people flee their homes as a result of conflict, Nigeria inclusive. Worried by the situation in the country, the National Population Commission says vulnerable population in emergencies like this raises awareness and calls for urgent action by government and other stakeholders. As he joined other spirited Nigerians at the Kuchingoro IDP camp, where relief materials were distributed.
And addressing the plight, we have advocated 2 causes of action, one interim, the other one long term. In the interim, let's do the best we can to make sure these people are minimally comfortable. That is why. Then the long term thing is to try to whatever brought about this situation. Whatever is responsible for what we are witnessing now, the sooner it ends, the better.
Other caregivers were also on ground to provide basic health care and tips to women who are often prone to abuses leading to pregnancy and infections.
We are here actually to also talk to them about child spacing on the planet.
Some of the IDPs expressed their gratitude for the show of love with a plea to the chairman to ensure the registration of new births recorded in the camp.
We want government to continue helping us.
It's a specific request and we are going to address it squarely.
Shiazalam Eki, NTA.
In the meantime, 2 non-governmental organizations, Lifeline Projects and Victims of Violence Charity Foundation, in collaboration with a donor agency, have extended their hands of fellowship to victims of insurgency in Adamawa State. Mohammed Saidu takes up the report from here.
The distribution of relief materials to the IDPs, who are mostly from Gaza, was done in an orderly manner under the supervision of officials of the 2 organizations. Speaking on the occasion, the coordinator, Like Minds Project, Fatima Kari Mohammed, said it is their desire to meet the yearnings and aspirations of the people, especially the needy. She explained that the relief materials are meant to cushion the effects of hardships of internally displaced persons, especially in this month of Ramadan. Earlier, the representative of the donor agency, Zohra Yusufu, said the aim of distributing the relief materials is to impact positively on the lives of the IDPs to enable them to have a sense of belonging. Some beneficiaries of the materials expressed a delight over the method of distribution, which was done household to household. Items donated include cartons of spaghetti, sugar, salt, blankets, as well as clothing. In Yola, Muhammad Saidu, NTA News.
Federal Road Safety Corps gives deadline to fuel tankers on safety. Abdullah in our Lagos studio gives us details of this and more. Abdullah.
Thank you, Phil. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The Federal Road Safety Corps has set the 1st of September this year as deadline for full compliance with all safety standards by tanker drivers across the country. This was disclosed by the Corps Marshal, Baboye Oyeyemi, at a meeting with tank farm owners to address the problem of tanker crashes across the country. Mary Doris' report is presented from our studios.
For some time now, the incidents of road crashes involving tanker drivers, resulting in loss of lives and property across the country, have been on the increase. The recent gridlock in Lagos and other major cities is another issue that has raised serious concerns. This meeting is therefore a follow-up to a series of meetings held with stakeholders in the country to articulate ways of addressing these challenges.
We are deploying our personnel to the tank farms to work with Petroleum Equalization Fund that the minimum safety standard is complied with no going back. From the 1st of September, all the tankers to be loaded with products must be fitted with speed limiting device with the retroreflective tapes, and the minimum safety standards will be complied with.
Stakeholders declared their readiness to buy into these safety initiatives, pledging that they will cooperate with the Federal Road Safety Corps to reduce accidents and deaths on Nigerian roads.
No depot will program more than the number of trucks that it can take in its holding bay within its premises at any given time.
Let them do the we have trucks that are older than this country. 1 hour, and these are the ones that are killing people.
A communique at the end of the meeting disclosed the agreement of stakeholders to fix safety valves at truck manhole and discharge point, and the need for prosecution rather than payment of fines for road safety offenders, among others.
The United Nations Population Fund has received a donation of 400 birth kits for internally displaced pregnant women and survivors of insurgency in Maiduguri, Borno State. New Medical reports that this gesture by Deluxe Childbirth Service was to further support the United Nations efforts to support childbirth during pregnancy.
According to the United Nations Population Fund, 110 women die daily in Nigeria from pregnancy or childbirth-related complications. The agency explained that excessive bleeding and convulsion during pregnancy had been the two leading causes of death. This informs the move by this non-governmental organization to donate birth kits to the internally displaced pregnant women in areas devastated by the insurgency and host communities.
We are committed to adopt 3 IDP camps, internally displaced people's camps in Maiduguri, and our commitment is to ensure that every expectant woman in that camp goes through a safe delivery because she will have her own birth kit. We hope that we can continue to support further collaboration between the private sector and the development community.
While applauding the gesture, stakeholders are advocating partnership and synergies with the private sectors in order to accelerate and improve humanitarian responses in the region.
UNHCR is ready to redouble its efforts, not only to ensure that pregnant survivors of insurgencies have a safe, healthy, uninterrupted 9-month journey to delivery,
we are dealing with your assistance like this and other corporate companies and individuals who will be able to survive the aftermath of insurgency in Nigeria.
This gesture, UNPFA says, will go a long way in ensuring that the survivors of insurgency and displaced persons reclaim their lives and mental stability. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Time to gazette. Everybody gazette eat. Recharge, call, text, and browse with your excellence and you can be one. Make I hear you well. You talk to say one container on the IC. One correct plot of land for my village, Abi. It's bigger than that. One trailer load of cow, no, 1 million every day. I'm a 50 to 60 million in 60 days. So, on that lady, advocacy for that machine, Kalitus, the big Johnny, I don't know for you. One letter with the one every hour for 60 days. A lot of free effort. 100 million naira worth of prizes. Everybody is a just record and keep winning in the SAE 10 million, brother!
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Stallion Group, a progressive conglomerate with diversified business presence in more than 18 countries in sectors like agriculture and rice value chain, automobile manufacturing, automobile sales and services, steel manufacturing, mining, fisheries and aquaculture, plastics and polymers, petrochemicals and packaging, port operations, shipping and logistics, warehousing and distribution, fertilizers, real estate, technology, and financial services. Stallion Group is dedicated towards its social responsibilities with focus on rural and community development, health care, child welfare, and a sustainable environment. Stallion Group is committed to making the lives of our people better by providing quality products at an affordable price. Stallion, proudly Nigerian.
Why do theaters strive for pitch black? Why do stars shine brightest in a black sky? Why are colors most vibrant in the deepest black? Perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
Every day is gonna be bright. Every day golden morning delight.
Every day starts you on your way.
Receive protein and rich in vitamin A and iron, which helps provide energy for work
And school.
And play.
Golden morn, come one day. Golden morn, have a great day.
highly nutritious, simply delicious. Good food, good life.
Are you still shaving the same old way? Shaving on dry skin can be uncomfortable. Try Gillette Nutri Plus. It has 2 chromium-coated blades and a lubrication strip that's activated by water. You'll be surprised just how smooth Nutri Plus feels. And even more surprised at the affordable price. Gillette Nutri Plus, surprisingly smooth and affordable.
Everyone is coming through, but you and I know that there's only one cake. So, who's doing the cake? That child. She's always in her battery pack. At 11 cover per second, you don't have to worry about airtime, you worry about battery life. Then like my man Musa says, you snooze, you lose. At 4:30 a.m. it's all about downloading movies and music. We make CP look cool. to be free, because when you're in the clique, your social media apps never go offline.
We the community, we are the champions. Shout out to me. In a minute, 1 minute down to my music. But the question is, where are you? My clique is full out of
Thanks for staying with us. A group of Islamic scholars under the auspices of Imams of Jum'at mosques in the FCT have assured President Muhammad Buhari of continued support, understanding and prayers in his determination to bring an end to terrorism and insurgency in parts of the country. Spokesman for the group, Sheikh Tajuddin Adigu, gave the assurance this evening when the President hosted the members to the breaking of the Ramadan fast at the State House. The group expressed concern over the renewed hostilities by the insurgents in the frontline states and pleaded with the President not to be discouraged but to remain steadfast in dealing with the situation to meet the expectations of Nigerians. The Imams maintain that Boko Haram has nothing to do with either Islam or any religion and promised the group members will mobilize their followers to intensify prayers for the restoration of peace and normalcy in the country.
The Almighty Allah, for your continued guidance and protection, we assure you that the prayers of these Imams and no other Imams will go a long way in achieving success in combating them. Only what they are doing is not Islam, and nobody can attack that Islam. We are adding to your points that no one will be discouraged with the little effort they have made these days in killing a number of Nigerians. This is the help the country, so that's the need for you to continue to educate your people that what they are doing is not Islam, and that people will not associate with them in any way, because what they are doing is anti-Islamic. Islam means absolute justice. Only God can do absolute justice, but we are supposed to do our best, and I hope God will hear our prayers.
President Buhari at the breaking of fast with a group of Imams. On to business now. The Nigerian Stock Exchange set to sanction 15 stockbroking houses for failure to activate their dealer membership licenses. Shikola Inari has more on Business News.
It's good to have you join us on Business News. The Disciplinary Committee of the Nigerian Stock Exchange NSE has summoned 15 billion members stockbroking houses for failure to activate their dealer member licenses. The NSE said the members would appear before the committee on July 27 to give reasons why disciplinary action should not be taken against them. The NSE had last week also disclosed plans to delist 3 companies for failure to regularize their listing status. The companies include Nigeria Sewing Machine Manufacturing PLC, Stock Bees PLC, and Nigeria Wire and Cable PLC. Still on the activities from the Nigerian Equators market, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Oyema, says the current dip being witnessed in the capital market is occasioned by the withdrawal of foreign investors from the market activities. This is as a result of the dwindling fortune of the Naira due to the sharp drop in crude oil prices. Nevertheless, he is optimistic the market will rebound as soon as the government reveals its economic policy direction.
Because of the foreign exchange pressures, we've seen a lot of withdrawals from the international investors. As you know, our market typically is driven by foreign investors. About 60% of market activity is foreign. And that is the impact that we're seeing right now. We do believe that as the government begins to come up with policies and as the CBN gets a better handle on the foreign exchange situation, that our market will experience a rebound.
Let's now take a look at graphic details of how the market fared this Monday. That's Business News. I am Shikola Itanayo. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Shike. women of various socio-economic and cultural backgrounds are to benefit from free medical services in Niger State. Wife of the state governor, Dr. Amina Abuja, who is a consultant gynecologist and obstetrician, will be attending to them at the Mina General Hospital as part of improving services in the hospital. Husseina Musa reports.
Governor Dr. Amina Abuja, who is a consultant gynecologist, wants to use her knowledge to improve medical services in the state. Dr. Amina Abuja, who was at the General Hospital Mina, inspected facilities of the antenatal ward and clinic, postnatal, gynae and labor ward. The constraints are there. There isn't enough space. Everything is outdated and needs to be upgraded. But apart from that, the place is well organized, and I'm happy it's actually providing the services it is providing. She commended the management of the hospital for efficient healthcare delivery and promised to contribute her quota to complement the effort. Permanent Secretary, Hospital Management Board, Dr. Mohammed Makusid Mohammed, Medical Director, Dr. Ibrahim Kulu, and described her decision to render service to the hospital as a welcome development. In Mina, Hussein Musa, NTA News.
Workers in Osun State back to their offices. Kenny will bring us the details from our Ibadan Network Center. Good evening, Kenny.
Thank you, sir. Good evening and welcome to Ibadan. Labor unions in Osun State have called off the strike embarked upon by workers over unpaid salaries following the receipt of payment alerts by workers. This was followed by a solidarity visit to Governor Rauf Aregbesola by a group of pensioners. Correspondent Abdulaziz Salami reports.
Appointed as signatories to the agreement with government thereby suspending the 6-week hold strike, State NLC Chairman Jacob Adekome confirmed that workers were already receiving alerts for 1 month's salary from their banks and would receive for another 1 month on Thursday. He added that other arrears of salary and pension would be paid as soon as the state government received the bailout funds promised by the federal government.
That all the outstanding deductions and pensions of December 2014 shall be settled as soon as bailout funds are received from the federal government.
The state head of service, Mr. Sunday Weye, who signed on behalf of government, assured the workers that an audit exercise which government would embark upon would not withhold any worker. Meanwhile, Governor Rauf Aregbesola has commended the workers for suspending their strike. He spoke when a group of pensioners paid him a solidarity visit in Osogbo. Workers are expected to resume on Tuesday in Osogbo. Abolaji Salami, NTA News.
The governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, says President Muhammadu Buhari is capable to move Nigeria forward. The governor expressed his confidence while speaking to newsmen in Abeokuta when he visited former President Olusegun Obasanjo at his residence. Correspondent Anthony Gandoni has the report.
Received by his host, the visitor, Dave Umahi, and his entourage moved to the private sitting room of the former Nigerian President, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. The visit, according to the Ebonyi State Governor, Dave Umahi, was to inform the former President of his election as the Governor of Ebonyi State and to tap from his wisdom. Governor Umahi, who described Chief Obasanjo as a humorous and upright person, added that Nigerian leaders must learn from his uprightness. The governor also expressed confidence in the ability of President Muhammadu Buhari to move the nation forward.
Now, meeting every of the governors, was very pleased with him. It was not a question of being in this party or being in the other party. He displayed, ways of humanity, honesty, and the willingness to carry this country forward.
Earlier in his address, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo described Ebonyi State as a unique and peaceful state which must be maintained.
Well, I believe the honor and the commendation goes to you and to the defenders. And I know of course, as I said, also God is very good.
In Abeokuta, Anthony Gandoni, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. It's back to you, sir.
Thank you, Kenny. Take another short break now. Stay with us on NTA News.
Nigeria-US relations, how has it been over the years? What are the areas of interest and mutual understanding as President Muhammadu Buhari visits the United States? This is the focus of NTA Tuesday Live. NTA Tuesday Live, informative, educative and incisive. Don't be told. Join us.
Wisely, as the Debt Management Office Nigeria offers you an opportunity to invest in Federal Government of Nigeria bonds. FGN bonds are debt securities of Federal Government of Nigeria issued under the authority of the DMO. FGN bonds offer several benefits to the investor. 1. Principal and interest are secured by the Federal Government of Nigeria. 2. Are listed and traded on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. 3. Can be used as collateral for borrowing. 4. Investors receive regular income in the form of interest payments. 5. Can be sold before maturity if the investor needs cash. You can directly contact Islamic IBTC stockbrokers, who is the government stockbroker, or any licensed stockbroker. You can also buy at the primary auction through banks and discount houses. With as little as 10,000 naira, you can invest in FGN bonds at the primary auction held every month or any business day. Contact Islamic IBTC stockbrokers or other licensed stockbrokers today and be part of this great investment opportunity. FGN bonds. Prosperity for all.
Now for a bit on the global scene with Gabriel.
A key investment and development summit has started in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital, aimed at ending global poverty and managing climate change by 2030. It is also to consider how to close the gap in key sustainable development sectors for Africa, estimated at up to $2.5 trillion annually, according to the United Nations Trade and Development Body, UNCTAD. And from Mogadishu, the Somali government says it will submit its dispute with Kenya to the International Court of Justice over free border disagreement. Tests carried out show potential reserves of gas in the area. In Romania, Prime Minister Victor Ponta has been charged with several counts of corruption in a long-running investigation, prosecutors say. Ponta has denied any wrongdoing. And from Russia comes a report that a section of a Russian military barracks has collapsed, killing at least 23 soldiers, 19 servicemen rescued alive, and 5 others still missing. Let's go to weeks. Gabriel Odu, NTA News.
Sports now, and Manzi Marcos brings us up to date.
Super Eagles striker Emmanuel Emenike was on Monday involved by his new